Our verse today is Acts chapter 16, verse 28. But Paul cried out with a loud voice, "Do not harm yourself, for we are all here." Paul and Silas had been arrested and imprisoned in Philippi. I was fortunate to visit this prison in December 2024, so I'm very lucky to have done that. These men had been beaten and jailed. One would have expected them to be gloomy and perhaps even angry with God for allowing them to go through such a horrific experience. Instead, they were praying and singing hymns in the night, if you read verse 25. While they were praying and singing, God intervened by sending an earthquake, which opened the prison doors in verse 26. When the jailer noticed that the doors were open, he assumed that the prisoners had escaped. This would have cost him his job and possibly his life, given the Roman penalties for losing prisoners. In despair, he decided to kill himself. However, the prisoners had not escaped. They had remained in a safe place. Our verse records Paul's response to the jailer's attempted suicide. Paul cried out with a loud voice, "Ephonesen de phone megale." To cry out with a loud voice is to shout with urgent concern in order to prevent harm. It emphasizes immediacy, intensity, and decisive action. Paul shouted to stop the man from carrying out his intention. "Do not harm yourself, for we are all here." To harm himself would have meant taking his own life, which is morally wrong and contrary to God's design. One must not take one's life or the life of another, because life is precious to the Lord. Paul reassures him that all the prisoners are present and that none has escaped, giving him a reason to preserve his life. In our difficult moments, rather than complain or lament endlessly, we can turn those moments into moments of prayer, calling upon God to intervene in our situation, just as Paul and Silas did. When we notice that someone who has oppressed us or treated us badly is suffering or going through a difficult time, how do we respond? Do we say, "Let them suffer," or wish them harm? Paul and Silas showed mercy and compassion. This is what Jesus calls us to do for our enemies and those who hate us. Like Paul and Silas, we must give others reasons to preserve their lives. We are called to protect life at all costs, even the lives of those who wish us harm or inflict pain on us, because judgment and vengeance belong to the Lord. The compassion and love shown by Paul and Silas led to the conversion of the jailer and his entire household. This challenges the attitude of some Christians today who pray against their enemies or wish them dead. Instead, our prayer should be for their conversion, so that they may live to witness the goodness of God in our lives, and like St. Paul and many others, come to experience God's blessings themselves. At times, indeed most times, praying for such people can be difficult. Still, we must summon the courage to do so, trusting that it will ultimately benefit us. Lord, give us the grace to pray for those who treat us badly and to wish them well. May they be converted from their evil ways and come to know and embrace your grace in their lives. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a lovely day.